Hi, welcome to Ranging Country. I'm Lawrence.
And I'm Peter.
And we're here to bring you honest reviews of air guns and shooting equipment. Okay, so in today's video, we have got the brand new Air Arms Ultimate Springer TX200 rifle length laminate.
Yes, we have.
That was a long title. Yes, and we've got another gun that's exactly the same.
Similar. We've got the HW97. And we are going to do a little bit of a comparison and differences and give our view of which is best.
They're both,
if we dare.
Yeah. They're both, we're going to provoke all the Weihrauch and the Air Arms fanboys,
yes.
here, aren't we?
Yes, we will.
We're, little joke, obviously, that they're both underlever rifles. They're both quality Springers. We get asked a lot by people in the shop and down the range, 97 or TX. A lot of people have opinions both ways. So we thought we'd show them both off today while we're doing showing off the Ultimate.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Let's get into it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so on to features of both of these rifles. Now, obviously, the HW97 is a quality rifle in its own right. Real high quality, German made, nice and accurate. But in terms of features that it comes with, compared to that laminate, compared to the Ultimate, I would say it feels a bit lacking in terms of features. It doesn't have the adjustable stock, doesn't have the adjustable butt plate on the end, and it requires a little button. It doesn't have a nice self-latching mechanism at the front to hold it. What would you say to that?
I would agree with that. I think this is probably a little bit more refined version. I think the 97 I'd probably describe as a little bit more utilitarian.
Simple, to the point.
Works, does the job.
A little bit German, one could say.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's talk about them then. So yeah, obviously we've got the rifle here. You do have a little push button that locks in the cocking lever. You've got a loading gate that opens on both sides, which is this bit here.
That's quite an important part if it's a left-handed shooter shooting the rifle, isn't it? What we find is on the TX200, it's scalloped, isn't it, on the right-hand rifles?
Yeah, it's dedicated for a right-handed person.
It is, and it's if you were to try and load that with your left hand, it'd be awkward.
Yeah. The flip side of that is if you are a righty, it's nice and easy to use, just the same as if you're righty on the 97, and the stock is then contoured to a right-handed person, so it feels a bit nicer, I would say.
Yeah.
But then, yes, obviously, when we come to sell one in the shop, we get a left-handed person say, "Oh, I want a nice underlever." Well, here's the 97 for you, sir.
Yeah, they do share quite a lot of similarities as well, don't they? They've both got the same automatic safety.
Yeah, which is mounted at the back here.
Yeah. Now,
one interesting observation, I will grab it up for the camera. One interesting observation on this one, we've got the safety catch here, and it's moulded into the main body here. Whereas on the TX there, it's like its own separate section, and that separate section ends in a nice contoured sort of.
I see what you're
saying.
With that, the rear part of the action there actually unscrews, doesn't it, when you're taking the rifle apart? But on this, the centre pulls out of the tube, so the tube is all one piece all the way down. Which on that one, your back scope mount is on the removable piece on the.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a line, barely visible,
where you unscrew it.
The point that I was making is that's it looks like it's smooth. It's all the way around. It's sort of circular, sort of spherical section at the back there, whereas this just ends flat.
A little bit more refined.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the first venture into a laminate stock on the TXs, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, they've been about for a long, long time in beech and walnut.
Yeah.
Which is a fantastic rifle, isn't it?
Yeah. You don't get the adjustable cheek piece, but you obviously do get the action is just the same. You could say you could maybe just go for a basic beech one and then get a custom stock made for it, and that would make up the deficit up to the ultimate, which there is quite a bit of a jump, isn't there, price-wise?
There is quite a bit of a jump. Yeah.
But you obviously wouldn't then get, you may not necessarily get the colours that you would on this one.
Yeah. Don't know if I'm a fan of laminates.
In general?
Yeah, in general, I think.
You kind of have to be. We are reviewing 2 of them.
We are. Doesn't mean I have to. Yeah, probably still a walnut sort of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, old-fashioned, I think, is probably the word.
Yeah.
In my day, we didn't have this glued together wood.
I am a bit of a sucker for the blue, I have to say. So yeah, for me, it'd be the blue. Blue would be very nice. If I had the blue one of them, would be probably the best setup.
Do you know when they were talking about bringing this out, I thought it was going to be a thumb hole.
Okay.
A laminate thumb hole.
Really push the boat out.
And I was really looking forward to that. I was quite excited about that.
Yeah, because just to bring it across to the 97 is this does come in a thumb hole. It's a thumb hole beech, so it doesn't look as nice as the walnut, but it's very, very popular. A lot of people say how comfortable it is, and it's nice to have the sort of thumb hole there. You can hold it round rather than sort of.
I would agree with that. I think, go out on a limb here, I would say that the thumb hole version of that is my favourite, absolutely my favourite version of it.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. But we're not going to talk about which is a favourite out of the 2 just yet. No. So we've got to wait until the end for that one, because we have been shooting these quite a bit, haven't we? And we've been talking about them. We've been discussing them and pros and cons, and there are pros and there are cons for both of them, aren't there?
Yeah. When we first had that through the door, we thought, oh, we'll get to have a look at it and have a look at it over. It was exactly what you'd expect from Airguns. It was quality. It was nice, well put together. Looks nice, looks the part, and we thought, oh, brilliant! Well, we'll be able to compare the 2 and see how they sit together. So having them here for the first time, both together sort of thing,
yeah,
is quite interesting to see the differences.
Now, one thing you said while we were setting up, the metal finish on the metalwork on both of them. I know we've got mucky fingerprints on the metalwork from both of us. But I think the Airarms just, to me, it's probably a little bit better for you. It's got a bit more of a sheen to it.
Yeah.
Whether you'd want that if you was hunting with it or not, probably not.
Again, comes back to the utilitarian style of the 97. This
Absolutely.
is more of a sort of satin feel versus satin look versus that one being more sort of gloss. And when you compare this to a sub 200 quid rifle, something made Chinese or bulk made sort of thing, it's much better finish, much better bluing on the action itself, and you can really tell the quality. But
German engineering.
Yeah, but then you put it next to the TX, and you think, oh, it just looks a lot deeper black, and it just looks a lot better quality. The engraving's much nicer as well. Again, comes back to the utilitarian.
Yeah. A lot more money though.
That's the kicker.
Yeah. So we'll touch on a few more little bits and pieces.
Mm-hmm. Any other features that you can think of? Obviously, we've talked about the button versus just the pull down cocking lever on that. We talked about the loading gate being ambidextrous on the 97, and the stocks and the safety catches.
Bear trap. Love it or loathe it, it's there on the TX200, and that is When you cock it, you pull it all the way down, and that bear trap there catches on these notches in the cylinder. And to be able to release the lever, you need to press that in. To start with, you think you need 3 hands, don't you?
Yeah.
But you quickly become adept at it. It becomes second nature. And I know with the 97, you always keep a hold of the lever. You're probably going to keep a hold of the lever on this one. In theory, that should take away, or it should help improve the safety and the less chance of the lever releasing while you're actually putting the pellet in. Whether it would or not, whether you trust it, I don't know. But it's a love it or loathe it device, I think. Puts some people off, other people do really appreciate it.
Yeah, I think you're always going to belt and braces hold the lever down as you put your pellet in.
Yeah, you're
but yes, it just gives that extra level of safety. Some would say it gives an extra level of complication.
Yes.
The 97, you pull the lever down, put your pellet in, and you close it up.
Job done.
Whereas the TX, you pull the lever down, put the pellet in, press the little bear trap, and then push it up. So yeah, it's just another little step. Obviously, we'll see that when we come to shoot it in a sec. But yeah, it just does give that little bit extra complication with the TX.
Yeah.
Okay, so onto the handling portion of the review. We've got these 2 high-quality rifles here, under levers. I'm sure there's a lot of money spent on designing, on the stocks, on how they feel and that sort of thing. What would you say about how they compare to each other?
Well, as you say, on paper, the same gun, aren't they? Under lever, laminate stock.
German and English, quality.
Yeah. But very, very different to shoot.
Yeah.
I set that one up yesterday on the range, zeroed it, put the scope on, zeroed it, loved it. I had a real good shoot with it.
A nice little breakaway from the PCPs that we're usually reviewing.
Yeah. But you do miss being able to just go like that and another pellet being in it rather than having to. It does take you back to basics a little bit though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Paula had a go with it, hated it. First 2 or 3 shots. By about the 5th or 6th shot, she was loving it.
Okay.
She was getting some accuracy. She was understanding how to shoot it because they are very different to PCPs, aren't they? I really enjoyed it. Now I set this one up after, and it was not chalk and cheese. It was a considerable improvement.
You can tell where the money's gone, would you say?
Yeah. You don't notice the twang with that one until you shoot this. And then you should go to that one again and go, oh, it's got quite a twang when you shoot it.
Or you're sitting next to it, for example.
Yeah.
You shoot that one and it goes with a dun.
Yeah.
Obviously, well, we should be able to, the microphone should be able to hear that when we shoot them. Whereas that is there's nothing, isn't there?
No, that is nice. I know our friend Paul Short in Grantham tunes the 97s, doesn't he? He's rather a specialist in those.
Yeah. Does
a fantastic job. Has to change quite a few of the internals and tune it, but they are transformed once he's had it. Twang's gone. Now this one as well. The trigger on that was okay for me.
Yeah.
Until I shot this one.
It's one of those things again.
And the trigger blade was a joy.
Yeah.
It seemed to be a lot more contoured and a lot more set back a little bit more.
Yeah.
This
is a much flatter trigger blade.
It is. This one's got a distinct curve, hasn't it? And it was really.
And bringing it back to the ambidextrous nature of the 97s that we mentioned with the loading gate, is this one feels a bit more, or the TX, sorry, feels a bit more like it's contoured for a right-handed person. It feels much nicer, easier to grab, and feels more comfortable.
Mm.
So and generally, if you're more comfortable, you'd be more accurate.
Yeah. Now, left-handed versions in this.
Yeah.
We do the left-handed version, don't we?
Yes, we do, but they're a walnut only, so they tend to be more expensive. Obviously, you can't get them in the beach. They're walnut only, so they're even more expensive because they're left-handed.
So that is contoured out for a lefty, isn't it?
Yeah, it's then the opposite way.
It's the opposite. So yeah. So the lefties are catered for with it.
I'm not sure about the availability in the Ultimate.
No. Although you'd think
The stock is
cut out both sides.
yeah.
So maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know at this point. But shooting this after shooting that, it was a lot more pleasurable.
Yeah. Thing that I noticed, again, it's one of those things when you first feel the trigger on the 97, you think, oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice.
It was good, yeah.
Then you go to that and you go, oh, there's absolutely no creep on the trigger on the TX, whereas these are obviously both straight out of the factory. There's just a little bit of creep on the 97. You can feel it. You feel the second stage take up, and then you're waiting for it, and then it's going. Whereas the TX is you pull the first stage, feel the second stage, bang, you're away.
Yeah, I would say a lot more refined.
Yeah,
definitely. Anything else in shooting it? As I said, both got the automatic safety that you always forget to take off, and you wonder why the trigger keeps pulling.
Yeah, just press it across with your thumb. I will say in terms of weight, they're very, very similar. With the scopes on here, they are both the same scope. The Ultimate, so the laminate adjustable TX200, that weighs 4 kilos or £8.13, and the 97 laminate here is 3.7 kilos, £8.2.
Talking of scopes, we have put the same scope on both guns, haven't we? And they are Hawk fast mount.
Yep. 3
to 12 by 50 AO scopes.
So they are their entry level glass. So if you want to blame the scopes, then you can today.
Yeah, I haven't even thought about my excuses yet. So thank you for getting that one in there. I'll remember that one. Yeah. So anything else we can think of on these? Yeah,
I mean, obviously there's no, in terms of features and bits and bobs that we'd normally have with the PCP about magazines and shot count and bits and bobs. It's quite a basic review, unfortunately. So we've explained how everything works, how we feel about them. I reckon we'll get to shoot him.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Let's give it a go.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so first up is the Airarms TX200.
Yeah, now today we've set both rifles up with QYS heavy pellets again because both the guns like them. We're seeing this more and more often, aren't we? That rifles are liking these pellets.
They're very damn consistent though, aren't they?
They are.
That's the problem.
They are. A lot of guns do like them.
JSBs are very, very good, but because they're so soft, they can damage easily in transit. Now, we'll just explain while he's shooting. As you may be able to see, frequent viewers, we've got a new target holder. We've got a new little setup, a new metal box, new metal target holder, and a new camera system for it as well. So a little peek behind the screens, it used to be upside down. The camera was upside down and the monitors were upside down. But it's all the right way up now, so we're doing all right. When you said you zeroed it, what you mean
bit better than my shooting.
Yeah.
It's coming down. Now we're going to shoot the TX200 on the right-hand target.
That's a clever idea.
And we'll shoot the
97.
That needs to be 97 on the left hand. That's better. I'm not the best with springers.
Oh, okay.
Very good. I've walked into that one, didn't I?
What we probably should have done is had you shoot straight after the practicing and zeroing, just so your obviously heart rate was fine and breathing and that sort of thing. But soon getting back to it.
I think, as with shooting all rifles, trigger is so important. Trigger control is so important. And it's that final let-off part, isn't it? That break point of the trigger, what your finger's actually doing and how it brings about that break point.
Yeah, 100%. And as I say, this is the TX I found was absolutely no creep to it. So it should be better.
Yeah. I'm not the best springer shooter in the world at all. There's two within the
There's two that were
touching the ball, isn't there? This is one point that we've had with some customers, that they cock it and it won't go back up, and it's just a case of that last little bit. Works on pro sports as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The same. Now, I was getting, when we were zeroing, when we was practicing earlier, nice little group of very tight, a lot better than I'm shooting now.
When you're in the zone.
Well, I was just lucky, I think.
I think looking at that target, I'd agree.
Yeah. Very enjoyable to shoot them.
Okay.
Very enjoyable. That's bound to be me. I think with spring guns, the hold is so important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I do like to just let the gun do what it wants to do. Hold it with minimal force. And
I think I've explained in a previous video that if your shots are all over the place, dotted all around, your gun's inaccurate. Whereas if you've got in a sort of, all the shots are going in a vertical line, or they're going horizontally, or they're going diagonally, all in one sort of area, it means you're doing something wrong. You're doing something different each time. Could be your left hand could be too tight, your right hand could be too tight. You could be squeezing it too much, you could be pushing it too much. So that's just what it is. What I'm saying is you're crap.
Don't mince your words, son, will you?
Long-winded way.
Well, that's for, I don't know if we said, but this is, our range is 25 yards, 25 measured yards from the muzzle. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I think it maybe looks worse. I don't know what the viewer thinks of that, but that's actually sort of fingernail grouping on this target.
I will actually. I haven't got a pound coin on me, but I will put a pound coin to
We'll grab a photo of it.
Yeah.
So let's readjust and go with the 97.
Yeah.
And here we are set up with the 97. Let's go. You're up.
Excellent. No pressure.
So again, you've obviously got that little button at the
press
top.
that button in to release that that lever. You haven't got the little device on the side
reassurance of that little bear trap.
Yeah.
But then
and I keep wanting to press that in now to put that back up, but there we go. Now let's see if there's a 20. Oh dear, you've been using this, haven't you?
Oh yeah, sorry. Sorry, I forgot you had old eyes.
Very old eyes. There we go.
Different. It's different. I don't know how well it picks up on the microphones, but as he shoots, there's just a little bounce, little blood, and that's exactly the noise that it makes.
Twangy.
Yeah. Again, you normally wouldn't hear it, but as someone who's not shooting it, or compared to that TX, you can hear it.
Really positive cocky action, really positive clunk as you bring that down. Did I say I'm trying to draw a line across the target?
Well, you went horizontally the first time, we're going laterally now.
Do you mean vertically the first time?
What did I say?
Horizontally.
It's horizontal.
They're both damn good guns. You know, and whichever one you pick, you're going to be happy with. You're not going to be disappointed.
I know I think I've mentioned some of the sort of shortfalls of the 97 compared to the TX, but we're talking quite a big price difference between the two. And the 97 is no slouch. It's still a quality rifle. As demonstrated, that was through the same hole. Now, obviously, you did get you got a few that were through the same hole on the TX.
Yeah, the hole's a bit bigger though, isn't it?
Yeah,
on the TX.
These are unweighed, unwashed pellets straight out of the tin, with the, as I say, QS streamlined stones.
They prove their worth time after time, don't they, these pellets?
Yeah.
They really do. Well, there's nothing wrong with this rifle at all, is there?
Like yeah.
They're both, I mean, they're both good with these pellets. This one particularly good with them.
We've had so far one stray flyer with each. That was just the first odd shot, wasn't it?
Hmm. Oh.
I can't remember exactly how many pellets we have with the TX.
No.
Yeah, you know.
I did say earlier, didn't I?
Yeah.
Catches all, and I was just about to say there's a lot of creep on this trigger.
Safety catch.
Try that safety catch, shall we? That was going to be a good shot as well.
Yeah,
that was going to be a bullseye.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Going off a little bit.
But instead, it was.
Yeah, it's because that first shot that's put me on.
I hate to say it, it's looking like exactly the same sort of size grouping as the TX.
Yeah.
Obviously, you just hadn't zeroed it properly on the TX, that's why it's a little bit high. But otherwise, they're about the same size group.
Oh, not again. You'd have thought I'd have learnt, wouldn't you?
I saw that one come in.
Did you?
Yep.
Could have told me.
I could have done. I thought it'd be funny not to.
Yeah, some guns are horrible to shoot, and you're like, can't wait to put them down. Other guns are a joy.
Yeah. And this is one of the horrible ones, is it?
No, these are both really, really good. They're quite addictive. I mean, we have guys on the range, don't we? That they've got the PCPs. They've got
Got all the high end stuff.
yeah, and they come and buy a Springer 97 or a 99 or TX or Pro Sport, and they love it.
Yeah.
It just takes them back to basics, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Did I take the safety catch off?
Nope. That to me is looking like exactly the same sort of grouping as the TX.
I'm going to fetch targets, and I'm going to get a quid coin out of your pocket because I haven't got one.
Don't know why you think I would have.
You're bound to. Right.
Cool. Right. Let's go on to the conclusions.
Yep. I'm going to fetch the targets first.
Okay, so closing thoughts then. What do you reckon? You were the one that shot him. What do you reckon? Quite a big price difference. There's currently like 500 quid difference between the two.
There's a massive price difference. It depends if you've got that £500 spare.
You'd be probably spending that anyway on getting, well, you'd be spending sort of 200 to 300 on getting that tuned to be as smooth as the TX.
I think you would,
wanted.
Yeah.
But it is, as we've seen, as accurate, at least in your hands, as accurate as the TX.
It's perfectly capable. Yeah, it's surprisingly capable.
We don't want to knock it down or anything.
No. I don't think you possibly can. I think that word utilitarian really sums it up because it does the job it's meant to do.
Yeah. No frills.
Yeah. I mean, apart from the laminate stock.
Yeah.
If you want the complete no frills version, then
they do a synthetic.
How much cheaper is that than
100 quid-ish currently? Yeah, 100 quid-ish.
Yeah. Or if you want my advice, Thumbhole Beach. That's the one. That's the nice one to have.
You heard it here first, folks.
Superb rifle. Yeah.
When I was shooting them both,
fault it.
the adjustable stock is very, very nice. And if you want the adjustable stock and if you like the look of the laminate, then I'd absolutely go for that one. The black that they do in that, we didn't even talk about the black, the option. The black and the walnut versions of that, I maybe wouldn't. Maybe possibly not. I would go, if you like the look of the laminate, go for the laminate. Otherwise, I'd go for the standard walnut, personally, in the TX. That would be my suggestion. But straight out of the factory, it's a straight out of the box. It's much smoother. It's much nicer to shoot.
It's sweeter to shoot, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to throw something else in the mix here. I'm going to go out on a limb.
Just buy a PCP and those groupings will be halved.
No. Would you go Pro Sport if you're looking at spending that much money? Would you go Walnut Pro Sport?
I don't know. Is the honest answer. I have no idea. The Pro Sport, if you get a nice walnut stock, is gorgeous. It's not adjustable.
No. It's a little bit lighter because you don't have so much. You don't have that underlever at the front. You've got an underlever in the aluminium underlever in the stock. Yeah.
Can our conclusion not be though, Top Gear style? Which one of these two would you go for? Neither would go for this other one that we haven't mentioned.
No. I think for me, if you've got the extra £500 and you want something nice, refined,
bit special on the range, you're there every week.
Something that's going to make you smile every time you bring it out, every time you pull that trigger.
Go for the TX.
I'd go for the TX. If you're not so worried about it, if you want the job done,
get the 97.
Absolutely nothing wrong. And if you're feeling really flush, one of each.
There you go.
Best of both worlds.
So we have got the groupings here, and we've got pound coin for scale. Obviously, we'll get a close-up still in a second, so we'll probably likely put that in now.
That was all within a pound coin at 25 yards with that one. And I had one, that's probably a little, just that one at the top there, that first shot.
Just it was just the one flyer,
Yeah.
wasn't it? You're not shot at Springer for.
Cover both
an
groups
hour or
by
so.
that top flyer
Mhm.
with a pound coin. I'm happy with that. Definitely.
Cool.
That
Perfect.
was good for me. That's very good for me.
So the conclusion is simple, effective, quality. Well, simple, effective, refined, also effective.
Definitely. Yeah. So buy them both. Have one of each.
Actually, a decent conclusion for once.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you.
We'll see you in the next
I
video.
hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
Yeah,
We
it was
really
nice.
enjoyed this one.